Yo, what is up guys? It's the Nightwing at Way of Life Esports coming at you guys with another video here today. And in today's video, I'm going to be discussing XL benching Advienne for Mikyx, as Mikyx will be their starting support for the LEC 2022 Spring Split Week 3. So after the LEC 2021 Spring Split, XL actually chose to get rid of Chocolate and bring in veteran mid laner Mikyx, and people are saying, well, why are you buying into a rookie only to just get rid of him to bring in a veteran player? Because this seems to be a thing with the LEC teams, is that they're just buying so hard into these ERL narratives that they are just simply just bringing in like every single rookie, and that's also not the right approach, because you have to have a mixture of balance between veterans and rookies, whereas the LCS just has another off balance with just too many veterans with not enough rookies. So between the LCS and the LEC, that's the big problem both regions have, is one region is too all in for veteran talent and one region is all in for just rookie talent. And teams like XL, try out a rookie, they don't really like where the performance is probably going, and they just get a veteran. That's just very odd, actually. Now, during the LEC 2022 Spring Split, which has now started, which is going to be on week 3, starting this week, actually, at the time of me recording this video, XL are most likely just going to be that 6th place team finally heading into playoffs, because as you guys know, if you happen to be an XL fan, XL has never made playoffs. They finished like 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, relatively in that 8th to 9th category relatively. And if they can't make playoffs with this kind of a roster, with Mikyx, Patrick, Mikyx, Marcoon, and Finn, I mean, you have to kind of reevaluate your entire organization in terms of the League of Legends section. Remember, their head coach is still Young Buck. They even have Nelson, the guy who was talked about, for a lot throughout the community, having really good LPL drafts, actually. So if you can't make playoffs with a roster like this, I'm kind of going like, I don't fucking know, because if we're looking at the LEC right now, let me just bring it up right now before I go over their announcement video of Mikyx, actually. So if we're going over the LEC right now, the landscape of it actually isn't very competitive for a team like XL to not make playoffs, though. Let me show you guys this. I know a lot of people are going to go, what the fuck are you talking about? So don't worry, I'll explain it to you. So right now, based on how I see the teams after just having 2 weeks of gameplay for the LEC 2022 Spring Split, your playoff teams are going to be Fnatic, Rogue, G2, Mad Lions, Team Vitality, and in order for XL to get into playoffs, because I said this on my Cloud9 podcast I had last night, if you haven't watched that, go check that out. Their own competition is going to be Misfits, because SK Gaming, Team BDS, and Astralis are fucking horse shit. They ain't doing anything. Them making playoffs is like my dad coming back into my life. It's just not going to happen, in my own personal opinion. So I think XL's only competition is to just beat XL and they can get into playoffs. Now, if they do well in playoffs, that's an entirely different story, because best of 5s are an entirely different beast compared to best of 1s, but that's just my own personal opinion when it comes to XL right now. I think they can make playoffs, especially with Mikyx now, but to be fair, they are picking up Mikyx, and it's the same narrative about, what people gave Wonder coming into the LEC 2022 Spring Split, which was, why are you picking up this player when he had a really, really bad LEC 2021 year? I mean, if Mikyx can somehow come back to form, he was one of the best supports in the LEC, along players like Hylissang and Kaiser. So if they can get that kind of a player, actually, that can be a very good thing. But if not, then it really doesn't matter, though. And Advienne had his tweet longer, which I will actually read after this. So I'm going to go over the video right here and see why they chose to bench Advienne and pick up Mikyx, actually. Let me make this bigger. Let me turn the sound up. Oh, if you guys notice that I'm in a different setting now, I actually moved. I actually moved to a different apartment. So that's why my background looks a bit different compared to the other videos you'll probably see on the channel in the past. All right. Let's hear why they benched Mikyx.
The rumors are true. We broke him out.
He's got the shots down onto Caps, who's got no flash. But look at the opponent. Damn it!
Oh, Mickey!
Mickey, you so fine! Mountain Soul. Neon takes a gigantic...
Oh, there it is again!
Again! Oh!
That is beautiful!
This is nice!
For the looting lullaby, look for that fleet. Mickey in! A four-man Magnus Storm!
Vision is sitting behind as well. Potential for a TP flank is real, but the flash engage.
Flash, done. Humanoid locked up with the solar flare. Humanoid does not get a chance to react. Mickey dived in first and immediately dive bombed onto Humanoid. Done.
I guess you're all wondering why, and maybe why now. I mean, the answer is actually quite easy. Mikyx is a champion, multiple trophies, MSI champion, and if you have the chance as an organization to add him to your roster, you have to go for that. And our ambitions are this year not just hoping for playoffs, no. We don't hope for playoffs, we go playoffs, and we go even further. And Advienne is a great LEC player, but Mikyx, he is arguably one of the very, very best supports out there. And even though we had a very strong support already on the roster, Mikyx brings something we did not have yet, like this winner mentality. So let's not forget about Advienne. He was actually a very strong team player. He had a good synergy with Patrick. He also was a great personality, so we actually had a team which came together very, very well. So it was a tough decision, really tough decision to make. And if it wasn't about Mikyx, we would never have done so. So it is sad, actually, and it hurts kinda. So what's next with him? We are in talks here. We will be very supportive about that and figuring out something together. We are in a very competitive industry. Sports is always about like the very, very, very best, and Mikyx is just more experienced and more versatile and brings what we need for this year to the team. So I really hope you will join this ride and you also are as excited as we are, and you can see how hard we are trying to achieve something this year. So stay tuned, follow us, watch us, and I hope you will join us watching and cheering for Mickey and the team smashing Mad Lions and Astralis already this weekend.
Okay, so, I mean, so far when it comes to like Excel, here's what I'll say. Like, they're gonna be more or less so the 6th place team or 5th place team heading into the LEC 2022 Spring Split playoffs, right? But it's such a weird thing to go after. I mean, yes, Mikyx has had past success, but if you look at just last year, he played pretty bad. And if you already have an inbuilt synergy issue that you've built up and then you've kind of fixed it because you said the team all came together, you know, makes really no sense to change any player, you know, and it's one of these things where, you know, Nuke Duck gets to still play in the LEC, but I can probably, well, you just imagine there's other better mid laners they could probably have went for than just Nuke Duck, but they want and went in on a veteran that could potentially get them to playoffs, essentially. So, you know, I mean, I hope this works out for them. It just sucks for a player like Advienne, you know, because I don't know what happened on that situation because there's a Twitlonger here. But in terms of a business point of view, this is just business, guys. That's just how it works. I know a lot of people on Twitter were more harsher on them than, you know, fucking their YouTube comment section for their YouTube channel for Excel, right? It is just business at the end of the day, and business has no feelings. It's all just about like in the moment, and you have to kind of just figure out what's gonna be the best thing overall, you know, for the organization, you know. But it does make Advienne it makes both parties look bad depending on what actually was said. So let me go over this right now. Advienne says XL Esports and an unexpected end. All right, so he has his Twitlonger. I'll read this for you guys right now. So there's decent amount of paragraphs here. All right, well, better start. XL Esports and unexpected end. Oh my goodness, thank you, ads. As I'm writing this, I'm not sure how to feel. On Sunday, I've been told by the management of Excel that I was to be replaced by Mikyx after just 2 weeks of play in the Spring Split for the upcoming week of the LEC and the rest of the LEC onwards. Wow. This decision was taken by the management only, without any open dialogue with my now ex-teammates or any heads up to me prior to the decision already being made. This decision, as I'm told, is not made based on performance issues, motivation issues, issues with regards to my personality, or anything in/out of game related. It is purely a business decision. So far, my professional career in esports has been relatively short, especially for someone of my age, 24. I played one split in the German league with Big, and I played one split in Excel Academy, including our EU Masters run, before I was thrown on the big LEC stage. In some cases, having your career go this fast can lead to illusions of grandeur. In my case, however, it led to a strong case of imposter syndrome, something I struggled with a lot when I first came into the LEC roster with Mark. I did not want to ruin this opportunity to play in the LEC, even if I felt like I maybe wasn't ready. Feeling like this was very stressful because it felt like I was only one game away from showing my real self as a non-LEC player, and I just kept looking out, having decent games. I'm happy, though, how I handled the situation, and through experience, I gained more confidence. I saw that I was able to play LEC and perform well, and that even though I might not be the flashiest player, I can add a lot of value to a team, both in-game as well as out of game. In the 2021 summer split, I got promoted after a 2-5 start of the LEC team, and we managed to go 2-0 versus G2 and Vitality in my first week of LEC. We had some ups, 2-0 first week, and some downs, not making playoffs by one game. I made some mistakes, but all in all, I would just say that I'm okay with how I performed that split especially given the circumstances. During the offseason, Excel made clear that the roster for 2022 was going to be rebuilt around Mark and I. This gave me a lot of confidence and trust from the org because it felt like I finally earned my spot in the LEC and that I had an opportunity to really show what I'm capable of. With my newfound confidence and the actual time to scrim before the LEC is already running, it deeply saddens me that I won't have that opportunity this year to prove and develop myself during a full split in the LEC. When you are being replaced, it is easy to feel like you weren't enough, that you aren't good enough, and perhaps should have done more. Should I have played more aggressive and flashier? Should I have been more demanding? Perhaps I should have gotten a higher solo queue rank. These are the thoughts that crossed my mind. On the other hand, for the sake of sanity, I have to be realistic about what I should be expecting of myself. Could I have been playing well enough for this not to happen, or was it inevitable? Either way, getting replaced is part of the professional sports, and I always have accepted it and something that could happen. This split, I don't think I played poorly. Yes, I made some mistakes in some games. I could have did more than I did, but overall, I had solid games. I am not a big fan of blindly staring at I am not a big fan of blindly staring at statistics, but I think I had some good scores when it comes to vision control, vision score, kill participation, and first blood participation. Together with my jungle proximity, stats show my playstyle was together with my jungle proximity, stats show my playstyle was very well. Early game centric roaming player with a good sense for vision control. On a personal note, I also value having a good relationship with my teammates. I am open to do activities and proactively use my energy to create a great team atmosphere, since it will bring better performance and trust within the team, and it makes my time in the environment more enjoyable. I don't have any negative feelings towards Mikyx, and I wish him and the rest of the XL players the best of luck in this and the upcoming splits. I believe that Patrick, Finn, Erlen, and Mark deserve a world-class support at their side. Sadly, that will not be me, as I have been given the time nor opportunity to reach that level. I would like to end by saying that I will miss the Excel boys a lot. I think I've become good friends with all of them, and it brings a tear to my eye that I will miss the journey that we could have had together. To Patrick, you are an amazing talent, and you are just a slight stroke of luck away from achieving greatness. To Erlen, you are an amazingly intelligent and creative player, and you absolutely don't deserve all the flack you've been getting. To Finn, from the moment we tried you out, I knew you'd be amazing. Teammate, plug-and-play personality, and very fun to be around. Also, rank 1 super talent. And lastly, to Mark, you are the player I have played the longest with throughout my entire career. I will never forget the times I had to carry you through the airport, the times you upped my confidence when I was doubting myself, our time in London, and of course the time we made the jump to LEC together. You've become a true friend. I want to thank everyone that supported me or my teammates. I hope you will continue to do so in the future. While I am still under contract with Excel until November 2022, I got permissions to talk to teams for contact, please. Yeah, all this right here. On to new beginnings, Advienne. So what's also really crazy is how they communicated that with him, like zero fucking, it's, I don't know. He was told this on Sunday, and today is Tuesday when I'm recording this video. So yeah, I don't know about that one right there. That's a pretty short notice kind of thing, but it is just business. I mean, I may not agree with it, but it's just business at the end of the day, you know? It's crazy how Promiscu still has a spot in the LEC and Advienne is getting benched. It's crazy, right? You know, like, I don't know how many fans Excel have, and nor does it really matter, nor do I really care, but if they did have fans, this would be very concerning, and it only makes the organization look more off-putting as a place to come in the LEC, because basically, if you don't play good for like one split, and you don't play good at the beginning of a split, Excel could just easily kick you. That's just what they're establishing. If you come in and you don't get us playoffs, or you don't actually start playing very well in the beginning games of a single split, whether it be spring or summer, they could just kick you. That's just how it's going to work for them, you know? And to be fair, I know a lot of people said, well, like, why would someone still come to their roster or anything like that? Let's be honest here. They're still in the LEC. The end goal for every player in the ERLs or any player currently within the LEC is to stay in the LEC and keep performing there, because the LEC is the end all be all, and since XL are in the LEC, they are one of the end all be all goals for a player, no matter what. It doesn't really matter about their success in the LEC. The end all be all goal is to be in the LEC and is to get to the LEC and play on an LEC roster. That's how this ends up becoming. But to be fair, a lot of people have to understand this though. Spring and summer are vastly different. So if one of these LEC teams do not perform very well, you could easily just, you know, have Advienne get slotted into one of those teams that don't make playoffs. Like, if Misfits don't make playoffs, because they're only really competing with XL for that final playoff spot, in my own personal opinion, I kind of already hope those are the playoff teams, actually. You could see Advienne join Misfits, or you could see Advienne join one of the other teams in the LEC. If those bottom tier LEC teams stay bottom tier at the end of the split, you could see the exact same thing. And what's really crazy is, like, a lot of people will probably see that and just be okay with it, when it's like, those other orgs are most likely gonna do the exact same thing, you know? So people just shouldn't make excuses and exceptions for when one org does it versus the other. It's just that Excel's very open with doing it. I mean, it does decently hurt their brand reputation, but let's be honest here. Players want to play in the LEC, and they have a spot for that, and if they're gonna attempt to make playoffs and make this a much better year in 2022, we'll have to see how it goes. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. I think XL's only real competition right now is just Misfits to make playoffs. SK Gaming, Team BDS, and Astralis are monkey horse shit, so it doesn't really matter what they do anyway. So they just have to be slightly better than Misfits, potentially to make playoffs, because I think they're just vastly outclassed by every single one of these other teams, actually. And I hope Mikyx can bring them that success that they want. I mean, I hope that's the thing they get, honestly. And with that, I'll see you guys later. Like, comment, and subscribe. Most of all, enjoy. I'm the Nightwing, and Way of Life Esports is signing out, guys. Peace. Have a good day. See you guys later. Deuces. I'm out this thing, man. Peace.